You mentioned it's a hard business. What advice would you guys give to like a young businessman trying to come up with their own company? Like who maybe they have their own company and just to try and keep it afloat, keep it alive, get some traction.
Yeah, to follow up on that, in the health and wellness space, and then just overall for an entrepreneur as well.
Are you like veteran specific or just anyone?
Anyone.
I'll take a stab at it, Dubs. Like, what I think is like you gotta find something that you are passionate about. If you are like being real with all you guys, I don't make money doing this. I make money in my other investments I've done in my life until we grow this to a certain point where I can make more money from this, right? But you've got to love what you do. You gotta and I love protein bars, right? I think that we're making a difference. I love that we have a charity like Operation Enduring Warrior attached to it. I love that I get to tell my friend's story about Pat Samaripa. I love that I get to meet people like you guys and Dubs and all the fighters at the FC, and you got to be passionate because every single day you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you. And you gotta be ready for that. And like Dubs always makes fun of me about this, but I always say like it's such a good fit for the Kill Cliff FC and like entrepreneurs because he makes fun of me all the fucking time.
Here we go.
I say this because it's true. I'm like,
he's setting you up for one. So once he finishes, let him have it.
Yeah.
Nah, you'll probably let him have it.
I'm saying that man, I think that the mentality of an entrepreneur and like a fighter are not far off. Is that you guys, you fight one person, you're like, all right, cool, I can have a mini celebration, but I gotta fucking get back at it.
Get right back.
I'm not done. Like, for me, everyone's like, oh, congrats, you're in 7-Eleven, congrats, you're in all these stores, and I'm like,
next thing.
Yo, man, I don't feel like I should be celebrating right now because it's so fucking hard, and it's like, all right, now that we got this big order, how do we fulfill it? Where do we go get our ingredients, But so my advice would be is you better find something you're passionate at and just be ready to know that you're at some point, and probably pretty quick, you're gonna want to quit, but you got to say no. You got to kill the quit. See that in there?
It's going to be difficult. You actually dumbed that down a little bit, and you kind of blazed right through it. But I was listening to him tell Michael Chan, it was like, you and me are basically the same thing.
I never fucking said that.
I'm an entrepreneur, and you get in the cage and punch people in the face. It's the same thing, right?
Well, I think if I gather kind of what you said, like when you fight and you win, you can't let yourself feel like the fucking man. And when you fight and you lose, you can't let yourself feel like a piece of shit. You got to kind of keep that even. So if you're going to be in business, if you're going to have, victories, you can't be feeling, all right, it's all good here. And if you're going to have failures, you can't be like, all right, I suck, I should quit.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
No, that's it. So that you are going to get your ass kicked every single day. And in order to land an account, dude, I cannot tell you how many nights that I've had where I have not slept. And I go to bed being like, fuck, I hope I can make payroll this month. I hope I can.
Entrepreneurs like being Rocky and Rocky 1.
100%.
That's it.
I hope
it's
I can make
literally
payroll.
geting punched in the face 4,000 times.
Yeah.
Literally punched in the face and punched in the face.
Literally. Sounds like you should tell Michael Chandler that.
Michael Fairley
though.
doesn't get punched as much as he punches, but yeah.
True. No, but
nobody tells you that, but that's basically
it's true, man. I tell you what, I quitting battle bars has crossed my mind a million times, but I'll never fucking do it. I will die before this thing dies. I will literally. I made a point to myself when I was 18. I'm like, all right, when I'm 25, this is how much money I want to make. When I'm 30, this is how much money I want to make. When I'm 35, this is how much money I'm going to make. And by the time I'm 42, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have an exit from X amount of businesses, and I don't give a fuck how I do it. I'm going to fucking do it, and I will kill myself.
Just going to get it done.
I'm going to fucking
find a way.
I will do whatever it fucking takes. And you know what, man? All all these people that hate on people who make all this money in their businesses, oh yeah, it must be nice. Go fuck yourself. You know what? Because you know how many fucking Thanksgivings I've had to miss with my fucking kids? You know how many Christmases I had to show up late to because I was killing myself? You know how many times I've had to spend all day and night killing myself and then go rush home to my kids' football game?
And that's I can relate to that as well, because some people be like, oh, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Bullshit. If you love what you do and are passionate and driven, you're gonna work your fucking ass off. You're gonna work your ass off. It's not gonna be just fucking rainbows and butterflies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fucking grind. You're gonna have to put that work in, and you're gonna have to sacrifice time, relationships, friendships, whatever the fuck, your sleep, your
Yeah.
health.
Ambition has to be worth more to you than work-life balance.
Yeah.
If you're a work-life balance, like this is one of my favorite things you hear from like
Balance isn't real for the
those
best in the world.
entrepreneurs,
There's no
like you know
balance.
the entrepreneurs that are always trying to like sell you into a pyramid scheme. Is like be your own boss, set your own hours, have your own man. When you run your own company, when you have your own business, when you have your own brand, you're all on the clock 24/7.
Dude, you guys are doing it right. Fucking.
You
guys are
make
doing it
less
now,
than
man.
you make
guys are
working for
killing-
somebody else. You know, yeah. I mean, literally, just got off from Medellin. Look, we get it, man. But it is kind of hilarious that people think it's like, oh, you know, oh, you opened up a business and now you don't pay your fair share. It's always great to hear somebody talk about you don't pay your fair share from somebody who makes like 35 grand a year and pays like $2 grand in taxes. And it's like you don't pay your
Yeah.
fair
Oh,
share.
my God.
And
I work harder for it.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Don't like you, play better, man. It
Yeah.
sucks. Like there's shit that, and the hardest thing is scaling. When you get to a point where you're actually finally, you didn't make any money. Now you're making a little bit of money, but now I don't have any fucking time. So now I got to hire people to do this, and I'm not making any money again.
Yeah. So now, like, you gave, like, the idea is you want to, like, find all the things you're bad at. I suck at so many things, but I'm creative, and I think that I'm passionate. I'll never quit. So I'll always be like, all right, I'm bad at this. You do this for me. I'm bad at this. You do this for
Kind
me.
of delegate it out.
You have to, right? You have to because,
Nah,
like,
I think it's a sign of intelligence. Everyone's got their things they're superior at and things
Yeah.
where they have deficits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole like Six Sigma thing, like trying to you know identify the things to prioritize, and it's even if you are good at something, right? Is it the best usage of your time
Yeah.
within that role, right?
I learned that in battle bars, my best trait is just selling, man. Like, in my old business, I sold a shit.
It's the most important It's the most important trait. If you can't
is.
sell, there's no business.
Yeah, so I'm like,
And I hate sales. I hate selling. I hate, especially when you're the brand. I fucking hate it because there's nothing. People are like, it's just business. Don't take it personal. You know, there is nothing on earth more personal than business.
yeah, well, like with this, like
100.
this is not like me when I talk about this. Like, it's not business to me. Like, I have one of our investors. He's one of my best friends. I'll go to his house and he'll be like, dude, can you just like shut it off for like 2 minutes? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I fucking can't, dude. I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I
No.
could. I fucking wish I could. I just can't. I'm obsessed. I want to win so fucking bad that like I'm never gonna stop. And then like that's not like some rah moment. It's my life, man. Like you know, you give everything you put into it, and just like you in the fight game, like you've been through so much shit with your back, and like oh my god, man, and like but. Have you quit? Have you fucking stopped? You're fucking.
No,
grinding.
hell no. I'm feeling better than ever.
Yeah, man, you look great. I mean, I don't know. Should we? Lace
It's
them up,
important to know.
Dubs?
It's important to know that you don't always have to switch. You can just be a bottom.
That's it.
Well,
That's
speaking
it.
of that, you know what's even gayer than G-Dub's old boss?
What?
Airports.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear this. I've been waiting all.
Bro,
But
listen.
I was
Go
gonna say-
ahead,
please,
go ahead,
please,
G-Dubs.
please.
Please,
No, I was
G-Dubs.
going to say on
Please.
the entrepreneur side,
Yeah.
like the business starting, it's easier than ever to start a business, but it's now in our current times, it's harder than ever to be successful at it. And people kind of want to skip over all that work, and they see someone successful, they kind of want to just jump to
All
it.
that instant gratification.
Right. So it is a matter of like, no one wants to work for anyone anymore. Right. So running a business now is finding like people to work for you. It's damn near impossible because
competent people on top of it.
well,
Boom.
confident people,
That's
there's too much distraction. So you get them in, you train them, and they're gone. You're like, okay, that sucks. So, because it's that easy to start your own business, but it's really hard to be successful at it. So put the time in, get a mentor, and solve a problem. Those are the two things right there. Put the time in, work for someone else that you admire and is intelligent and is doing
Someone
something.
you want to
that-
be like. Someone that you respect, who has more knowledge in the game than you.
and be loyal to that person, and then they're going to dump all their knowledge on you, and then you can, after you've spent 2, 3, 4, 5 years,
100%, man.
then you can step out
great
successfully
advice.
and do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just don't want to do that. They don't want to work for anyone anymore.
Yeah,
And
the
that's
most
kind of like what we're
you're
getting.
saying, like that common path is not like I got out of high school or college and I learned from my degree and I started a company. No, man, the right way to do it is like
Real
fuck
world
that.
learning.
I got my
Don't
communications
go
degree.
to college.
No, dude.
Go get a mentorship.
I didn't go to college.
And
I went to the military and I met this dude and he wasn't GW's boss, but I went and met this dude and like I started working for him and we blew a company up to almost 300 people.
Because you had the hustle mentality, and
Yeah, man.
I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you go to college, like, and I want to come back to this because I like where you were going with this, G-Dub.
Dead on.
The concept is like you're coming out of college and people think, okay, well, I got a degree, I got a master's degree, I'm worth 90 grand. You haven't done anything.
Nothing.
When you're 24 years old and you're in an office setting, you're going to get coffee and learn what to do. You're going to have no idea what to do, and half your bosses aren't going to know what to do with you. Right, so you get into this corporate environment, you try to become a cog in a wheel, and the company culture is going to determine where you fit in there, right? So it's like, well, I went to school for communications. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, so what? How do I use you here at AT&T? You know, so the mentorship I find to be such an important concept. But the barrier of entry for that is very, very difficult. I don't think people know how to find that mentor and get through the kind of all the different hurdles you have to get to get that as well.
You send 1,000 emails. You figure out, you get these emails and you send them out, and someone's going to respond. Like, we had a guy come in that he was an Army Ranger, Chris, and he came and worked with us. But he saw Kill Cliff. He's like, oh, this shit's great. And he just emailed the guy. Me and Todd weren't even there. Chris Irwin, who was a dev group guy working there, he was the president of Killcliff for a while. He sent him over to Todd, and just from picking up the product and sending an email, met with Chris, and then met with Todd, and then met with me, and we put him on. And Todd's like, I like this dude, and so we just started working with him, and you know, he was with us for like years. But it's that. I'm not saying don't go to college, but I'm also saying.
I'm saying
don't
you
go
don't
to college.
need to.
If you're 18, 19, and you just start
trying
trying to find that mentorship, in 4 years, you're not going to make anything for the first 2-3 years, but you're going to learn. And if someone likes you, they're going to put you on. And then where are you going to be? You know, a communications degree and you're $60,000, $80,000 in debt, or you've got a relationship and you've got a network and you've got successful people around you, and you're already 4 years into the workforce.
So a significant portion of our audience is 18 to 25, right? What if they love the Kill Cliff product, if they love battle bars, and why shouldn't they? And they were going to send you an email, and they wanted to make some sort of value proposition that would make them worth your time. What should they put in that email? How should they approach it?
That's a great question.
And now you're going to get 10,000 emails. So like theoretically,
it just depends on what they want to do. But I think just by introducing yourself and saying, hey man, I'm impressed with this product. I love what you guys are doing. I don't know anything about this, but I really want to know, and just put yourself out there. And I think just being honest like that and sending just not 2 emails, but as many as it takes till finally someone will answer you and you can actually go meet with them. You'd be surprised how far you can get if you just try and reach out to people, because they will respond.
You know what? I have this business mentor who, actually the guy that I was telling you about.
Right down the block.
Right down the block.
Yeah.
This guy is just like stud, man, like stud in business. And you know what he told me, which I attribute to most of my success in sales or whatever, is like, because it's not even sales. He's like, you know how you do sales? He's like, you become a good person, and when you talk to people, you listen to what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You listen, and you try to help them. And if you get nothing out of it in return, you know what you got? You got a good friendship out of it, and you help them.
It's called being authentic.
Yeah, so if you're real, and you're like if Mickey and I are boys, and I'm like, yo, Mick, like how can I help you? And I help you out, and I do something for you, but I get zero out of it. Whatever, man. We're cool though, right? And it helped you out, and then now I made a friend for life. Right?
So I got when that person's in an opportunity, hopefully they do right by you as well.
They do right, and they learn from that. And like, dude, a backstory behind this is like, I was our old business. There was a big rut in it, and the shortened version is I went to Vegas, and I met that same guy for the first time, and we sat around a table and had like dinner. And the dinner ended up being like fucking almost $5,000. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like this younger kid who was like trying to make it in the sales world. And like, I look over and like they wanted to play credit card roulette. You ever played that?
Yeah.
So you play credit card roulette, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
So I hope the dinner's under $150.
So I put my credit card in there. It was $5,000, dude.
Yeah.
I put my credit card in this hat, and I'm like, just take my credit card now, because I know it's gonna get picked. And sure enough, there's my credit card. They pick it. Oh. They had a funny story for years. So for 5 years, I was telling this guy, I'm like, yo, if you have something that you can do, Like if you need something from me, from some of your customers, and like out of context, this is hard to understand, but I was like, yeah, if you need something from your customers, call me one day. Just call me. And we just stayed friends. We just stayed in touch. We like when I would come to Florida, we'd hang out. I go to Jersey. I go to his charity golf outings, and then one day, 5 years went by. One day, the day before Thanksgiving, he calls me, and it's like 4 p.m. And I'm like, yo, Greg, what's up, man? He's like, I need X done by midnight tonight. And I was in logistics and shipping. He's like, can you move X amount done for this customer by midnight tonight? And I was like, yes. I had no idea if I could do it. I was like, yes, we'll do it. Anyway, over the next 2 months, we made like $4 million.
Wow.
Over 2 months, the business made $4 million.
Paid for that dinner.
Change your life.
It changed my entire life.
Your
Changed the trajectory of my
entire-
life, but it took 5
You
years.
stepped up and took that opportunity.
So let
and
me
you delivered.
play devil's advocate on that for a second, because that's a great story, and I think what you're saying is 100% real and true.
Sure.
But also, it's idealized, because the unfortunate truth of sales is that most of the people in sales are working from a position of income insecurity, and they're selling a shit product, which is why they're trying to hire salespeople.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are in a position where I'm commissioned and I have a family and I need to make money and my product is inferior, which is the whole reason my job exists, kind of that be the good guy and be of service mentality isn't really an option for a lot of these people.
Well, then I would say to that, like, back at it, it's like, you're not in the right spot, man. Like, you got to find your niche. Like, you got to find your niche and find your people. Like, in my sales role, I found my people. Like, I had a great crew around me in my original gig. Like, I had a great crew of people who everyone supported. And I had, like, if I was up till 4 a.m, I had people who were up till 4 a.m. And we all work so well together. Like, dude,
But you're not selling extended warranties on a car.
Oh, well, then I also didn't want to. If I wanted to, I bet you I fucking could sell extended warranties on a car.
Sure.
Facts.
Maybe.
You could sell those. You could sell anything though.
Catch a popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Believe it or not, there
Ketchup,
are
popsicle.
sales gigs that don't involve a shitty product or service.
Yeah.
There's obviously all the good products and service have salespeople too. So it's,
But like selling those things, hearing what someone, I don't know who said this, but like back in the day, like at this company, I was making 150 to 200 calls a day sometimes, right? On average. And I'd hear 150 no's. But on that 151st call, I'd hear a yes, right?
Sure.
So then, I forget who said. Someone said this on a podcast before, but it resonated with me. So that 151st call made me X amount of dollars. But it's like, no, that 151st call didn't make you X amount of dollars. Every call before that made you that money.
Yeah, it was probably Chaz Palminteri on Slick and Thick where he told our audience that, because I struggle personally with no. It's hard for me to overcome no. I hear like 5 or 6 no's and I'm like, all right, well, fuck this. You know what I mean? And like Chaz was very good about, I mean, people don't know. Chaz was 10 years in LA before he sold a Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
Chaz was driving around a car that didn't have a bottom in the driver's side, in the passenger side seat. And in my business, the hardest part of my business as a comedian is not telling jokes. It's getting booked and getting paid what you're supposed to get paid for the booking.
Yeah.
You know, and it really, like, hearing the no becomes debilitating. You don't make the emails. You don't make the calls. You're like, well, fuck it. If they want it, they'll call me. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, some guys get punched in the face and they're like, all right, I'm cool with it. I keep moving forward. Other guys get punched in the face and I'm like, I don't fucking like getting punched in the face. And like the thing that I think as I get older and I meet people, success seems to really accumulate in that demographic that is somehow doesn't let no affect them. You know?
100%.
I think, I mean, no still affects me, man. I'm like, how could you say no to carrying battle bars? I'm like, how could you? And they're like, because that's all, but you got to also respect that that's not the most important thing in their lives just because it is in mine. And that's why it's like, you got to build a relationship with people and like have that mentality of don't expect anything. Don't expect anything from them. If You know, like one of my best customers.
That's a great point. They don't owe you
They
anything.
don't owe you. Don't owe you shit.
They don't owe you anything.
Don't
That's
owe
a
you shit.
that's a good mentality to have.
No, you
it's
can't.
kind of like taking the ego out of it.
Yeah, you take the ego out of it. And you know, my best customer is not my best paying customer. You know why they're my best customer? Because it's a company called Yes Way and Allsips. And they have like 500 stores in Texas and through the Midwest. It's like a growing company. But the buyer there, her sons are in the military. And they were doing, like, her son's going to do the same job. We flew her out. You met them, right? In Sioux Falls. We flew them out to South Dakota to the fights out there at the Bellator fights. And we just have such a great relationship. And she's like, since we've started, like, doing business together, she has introduced us to competitors, to, like, multiple companies so we can be successful. Because we get along so well that she's like, I want to see you guys succeed. You know, and even 7-Eleven, they're like, it hasn't been easy. And the people there are like, we want you guys to succeed. You know, the CEO is a West Point grad, and he's like, they love military, right? But even like the buyers are like, we want to figure out a way to work with you guys because we like you guys. We want to see you succeed. And at the end of the day, they're like I can't tell how many people have been like, yeah, this isn't what. Even if I can't help you, I want to figure it out. And those are the people that are like, all right, I'm going to latch onto you, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make you be successful, even if it gives me nothing.
Life-sized, slick and thick cardboard cutouts at the end of the aisle in 7-Eleven undoubtedly will be successful.
I like that.
Undoubtedly.
On the Dreamsicle bars.
Yeah. The Dreamsicles. Yes.
Or the salted caramel.
I got to tell you, they're kind of selling me on the creamsicle here, bud.
My man's good at sales.
These
like
guys, he's created the relationship, and now, yeah.
He's steering.
I don't need
He's
anything
steering
from
it.
you in return except a Dreamsicle.
I'm here for it. And the no
Is
goes
it just
back
because
to,
of Gerard's shirt?
I think it might be.
That's literally
I think it might be. I think it might be.
Yeah.
How many no's
Gerard
did you hear from the Rogan?
Dreamsicle.
Yeah. How many no's did you hear from the Rogan camp before you got them involved?
We didn't hear any, really.
Zero.
Well, we had kind of nurtured that relationship for years. It's probably going on like 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, that he kind of knew who we were. We're kind of following along. We just had this sort of arm's length relationship where we just sent him product and he gave us a little shout here and there, every once in a while, a little note. And that was it. But when we launched that CBD drink, the first flavor, and we put limited edition on it, we didn't even know if what was gonna happen. So we just slapped limited edition on there. But we sent him some too, and he immediately contacted us. He's like, dude, this is my favorite drink. And we're like, wow, awesome. We're on the right track, which was really just, our original tasty blood orange flavor with the CBD formula in it.
So good.
And so from that point forward, we were like trying to figure out like, well, how do we sort of make this relationship like professional, and that's when we were kind of putting our heads together and figuring out it'd be great to get Joe Rogan in the brand. And then we started talking. He put us in touch with his people. Great first step. It took a while to sort of nurture that. And then we finally came to an arrangement, I think, that he was super excited about. His people were giving him the thumbs up. And, we were more than happy to make that happen. And that's basically how it happened. He was a fan of the brand. He was a fan of the product, and he'd been drinking it for a long time. And then when the CBD one came out, he's such a big, proponent of CBD, and that was it. That kind of was the catalyst to make it like a real thing.
I didn't know Joe Rogan liked weed.
Yeah. Wait till Kill Club comes out with a DMT drink. That's gonna be fucking nuts.
Right.
Dude,
That's gonna be,
you want to talk
think
about
the FDA you think the FDA likes you now?
It was a slow burn. It wasn't and I think that's exactly how people hang in his orbit for a long period of time. It's no one just comes in and is like, he kind of vets you for a very long time.
Yeah, but you want to talk about, like, the word influencer gets thrown out there so much. That dude is the ultimate influencer.
He's Johnny Carson.
I agree.
He's the new Johnny Carson.
Well, because
he gives the blessing.
Because you know why? Because he's not like, I eat too to make me strong. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I think you guys are authentic as shit how you do it, because there's nothing, like, you guys genuinely enjoy it and it comes off as real, and that's why I love you guys so much, man. But like Rogan, if he's eating, drinking it, using it, it's because he genuinely uses it, and you feel that from him, right? You feel it that he's just
genuine. Genuine's a word.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's being authentic as
is-
hell. He's
yeah,
being
that's his-
incredibly authentic.
And not that people give a shit, but I am going to toot our own horn for a second. We get offers all the time for shit that we don't like, and we don't take it. And we could use
feel
the
it.
money, but we don't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things where we're just like, man, this don't work. This ain't good. This is